my name is Harmony Thornton, and I'm a student at Lee High School in Marion, Arkansas. My fellow student, Anastasia Jones, and I are students in the Community Service undergrads and are here today to interview Coach Irish Williams and his story. Our classmates helped us to prepare for this interview by coming up with questions to ask. Coach, the first question is,
what are the names of the parents and your siblings?
My parents and siblings, okay? My mother's name was Melinda. My father's name was Andrew. And the siblings, now there are 12 siblings now. You sure you want me to name all 12? Okay, let's start with the girls. Okay, Bethina, Vivian. I know it sounds strange for y'all. They didn't have names like you all have now. Almastine, Ruby, Elvira. There's a sixth one out there. Linda. Okay, those were the girls. I think I'm talking too loud. These are the brothers. Ardell. I'm naming it in the order in which they came. Pernell. Then me. Melvin. Andrew Jr. Emmett. There's another one out there somewhere. Me.
was it hard living in such a large family without a lot of money?
No, it was fun. Now, you all don't know it, but even though we were poor, I know this is going to sound crazy to you. We didn't know we were poor because everybody else was poor too. So we didn't know we was poor. Now, we didn't think we were rich, okay? But we didn't know we were poor because the other kids had nothing, just like we had nothing.
How was it working on that farm?
Hard. But it was hard, but I understand again, we didn't know anything else to do. When you don't know anything else to do, you don't know how something else might be. The work was hard, but we liked it because we worked as a family and we all saw each other all the time. And we did just like any other farm family and children. We argued, we fussed and hugged and we got along good. But it was hard but good, if that makes sense.
What did you do for fun when you were
Now this gonna really sound crazy, y'all. We didn't have all the stuff y'all have now. We would get a tire that comes like you have a flat and you take the towel. We would get the tire. Because they throw it away when nothing else they could do with it. We would get the tire, fill it up with dirt. And our fun was filling that tire with dirt and rolling it. And the faster you went, the more dust came out the tire. And that was our fun, rolling tires. And we would have races to see who could go to roll the fastest and to see who could make more dust come out. And we would be just like little rascals. We would be so dusty.
How was it attending a segregation public school?
Now, I'm going to have to say it was good because when you don't know how something else is, then you have nothing to compare. We had not been to a desegregated school. I never attended a desegregated school. Even when I came to Lee High School, even when Lee High School was built, I couldn't come to it. So I didn't know anything else. So to me, it was great. Because that's all we knew.
Did Dr. Marion Lee King's assassination affect you?
Yes, it did. And even though I did not necessarily know Dr. King, but we cried. We cried. I was at school when we got the news, and we all cried. All the kids at school cried. Now, we didn't know particular why we were crying. We knew there was a great man. We knew he was black. We knew he was fighting to help black folks. But that's all we knew, and all of a sudden, he's that black man who was helping the black folks are gone. He's gone.
Okay. What was the racial situation like when you were growing up? How does it compare to today?
It was bad. It was bad because they used to call us all kinds of names. We were everything but black. We were burnt biscuits. They used to throw rocks. When I went to school, we had to walk to school. And we were in the country. And we had to pass this one house where a family of white people lived. And they had children. And they would throw rocks at us when we went past. We'd get close to the house. And then we'd start running, trying to get to the house. Because we knew they were going to throw rocks at us. And then they would call us, run, black biscuit, run, black biscuit. And our dad wouldn't let us. We couldn't say anything to them. Parents didn't play that back in that day. Parents told you don't say nothing. You take it and keep going. So we had to run and keep going and run to the house as fast as we could. It was bad. Now today, y'all don't go through through what we went through. Now you got to remember too now, today, black and white kids go to school together. Back in that, no sir. Black and white kids did not go to school together. Not when I was going to school, okay? Not in the South. Now maybe in up north, Chicago, somewhere, a place like that, in the East, in New York, a place like that, they might have, but here, no. We were totally segregated.
How has Marion and Lee
Cut.
County?
Tell us about voting during that time period.
Now, I'm going to tell you about black people voting during that time period, okay? Because we had the most difficult time voting. Now, if you were 18, I want to use 18 because that was the age you could go and vote. You just about didn't vote. Not in the South anyway. Not where we live. We live in the South. Now, I remember I can never remember my mother voting. All the while that I was doing, even during my grown age, my mom did not vote until I left and came back from Vietnam. And I was 20 years old then, so that's a long time. Things had got safer then. Because if you attempted to go to the polls, to the voting polls, to vote, and they knew you, we were sharecroppers. I know you don't know what sharecroppers are. It's kind of like slavery. If you lived on a white person's farm, if they told you couldn't vote, and they were going to tell you that, you could not vote if you were black. If you did, you had to find somewhere else to stay. You weren't going to find nowhere else to stay. Because no matter where you went, you still had to live on somebody's place who was white. So you just going from one white place to the next one, and they would not let you vote unless you voted like they told you to vote. You had to vote for who they told you to vote. If they found out that you did not vote like they told you to vote, you had to get up off of that farm and go somewhere else. And my parents, mom and dad would tell 12 children, where were we going? We didn't know where to go. So what was he going to do? Vote like they told him to vote. You had the freedom to vote, but you didn't have the freedom to vote for who you wanted to vote for. You had to vote for who they told you to vote for.
How has Marion and Lee County changed over the years?
Oh my goodness. It has changed a lot. Now either one of y'all live in Marion? In the town. Okay, you know what a park is. Okay, at the park, when I was your age, at the park downtown in Marion, there's a bathroom. You probably don't know it, but there's a restroom there. There are restrooms there. Under that place where the stage is now. There's a restroom there. There was a water fountain there. Now, when I was your age, I could not use that restroom. It had white on it. And when I was your age, I don't care how thirsty I was, I could not get a drink of water out of that water fountain. It was not permitted. So it has changed a whole lot since then, because now the things that I could not do when I was your age, you can freely do it now. Freely do it. Got to ask nobody nothing. You just go and do it.
Okay. Why did you join the military? What was it like?
I joined the military because I was running away from the cotton field. I got tired of picking and chopping cotton. And I wanted to go to college too. One day I was in the field and the sun was shining real hot. And it felt like it was 100 and something degrees out in that field. I said, Lord, please, Lord. I said, Lord, it's got to be a better life than this. Please help me get out of this cotton field. Wasn't nowhere for me to go. Please help me get out of this cotton field. And then I said, I was 18 years old. And I thought, I said, when I get graduate from high school, the only place I want to go to college, 12 children. My dad didn't have no money to send no 12 children to college. I couldn't go to college, and I didn't have the money. I said, I know what I'll do. I said, I'm going to join the military. And when I get out, the military will pay my way to college. And and that's what I did. I told my daddy that they drafted me. They didn't draft me. I told my dad that because he didn't want me to leave the farm. He wanted me to keep running the farm. So I lied to him so he wouldn't feel so bad, even though he found out I was lying later. Too late. I had signed the papers there. And when I went to I wanted to go to the Air Force. But the Air Force told me, okay, we're going to take you. We want you, but you got to wait 3 months. I said, I ain't picking no cotton and chopping no cotton for no 3 more months. And I went to the Marine Corps. Marine Corps said, okay, can you come back tomorrow? I got my little old shorts and shoes and my little cap, and I ran to the Marine Corps recruiting station. And that's how I ended up in the Marine Corps. Now, the Marine Corps was good, and the war was going on then, y'all. Vietnam War was going on. And I said this. I said, I'm going to take a chance. I said, everybody don't fight. I said, I might be the one lucky enough or blessed enough that I won't have to fight. I said, I'm going to take the chance because I'd rather fight them Vietnamese than to fight that sack, picking that cotton and chopping that cotton. I thought I'd rather fight the Vietnamese. But when I got over to Vietnam, and I did have to go to Vietnam, the cotton field looked so good, y'all. It looked so good. Once they started shooting at me, I said, I wish I was back home. But it was too late then. All I could do was pray, Lord, please let me make it back home. Let me make it back home. I almost didn't make it back home, but God saw fit to let me make it back home. My closest encounter was one day that it was 300 Marines. I was one of the 300. We were on a hill. We were surrounded by 3,000 Vietnamese. We knew we were going to die. 3,300? I mean, what's the odds of you being able to stay alive with those odds against you? And me and the other Marines, we said, well, I'm going to try to kill 100. Each one of us was trying to say how many we were. I know it don't sound good, but we was trying to see how we could possibly, maybe, stay alive. And it was impractical because I was not going to kill 100. They were not going to kill 100 Vietnamese. They weren't killing. It wasn't going to work that way. It don't work that way. And then when we decided, I said, what I'm going to do, I know I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it. So I wrote a note to my mama, put in my boot, my military boots. I said, well, when they find my body and ship my body back home, they got to pull my shoes off, my boots off. I said, they'll find this letter, that note that I wrote to my mom. Tell my mama I loved her and I missed her and I'm sorry that I left home and couldn't make it back. And that tell the rest, my brothers and sisters, I love them. So I put that in my boot. So when they found it, that she'd read it to my, somebody read, because mom couldn't read. They'll read it to my rest of my siblings. But you know what I started to say? I don't know how we got out. Yes, I do, God. Because it's no way that 300 should have gotten away from 3,000. No way. But we got up that morning. We wasn't sleeping. We got up that morning. The sun had come up, and somehow, and we know it was God, somehow, those 3,000 Vietnamese did not attack us. They left. It was like something on TV. It was like they just disappeared, and they were there no more. And we were all shocked. We were happy, but we were all shocked. What happened to them? And we know, too, that it had to be. Couldn't be nobody else but God. That was the closest that I had probably come to dying. One of the closest I come to dying while I was over there. But it was hard life over there, but God brought me through it. Very, very. One thing that everybody in the house had to do, you had to go to church. We had to walk to church, Pilgrim Church. We had to walk to church, and we had to go it wasn't no, I don't want to go this summer. We had, this Sunday, we had to go to church every Sunday. Every Sunday and every Wednesday. We had to go to church. Wasn't no discussion. And it had to be at Sunday school. But I loved it.
What church did you attend and who was the pastor?
Pilgrim Church. I live about 300 feet from the church, 300 yards, I should say, from the church that I attended. And the preacher was Reverend I.V. McKenzie. I can look out my back door and I can see the church I went to.
Where did you go to college?
I started at Michigan State, went to Wayne State, and I graduated under my undergraduate. That means I got my BS or BA, in my case, BS, Bachelor of Science. I got my Bachelor of Science from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, which at the time that I started was A.M. and N.
Why did you choose to go to college?
When I was coming up, not like y'all, you all got so many things that you all can become now. When I was y'all's age, college was the only way out that you can make some money. That was on, get your education. That's what your parents, my mom couldn't even read. My dad had got to the 6th grade. That's as far as he got. But they would tell you, if you want to be successful in life, go to college. That college was my way out. Oh, and I got my graduate degree from University of Arkansas at Jonesboro in administration.
What jobs have you had?
Whoa, they all been in education. I started out as a regular classroom teacher. I became a classroom teacher / coach. Then I became a dean of students, still coaching. Then I became assistant principal. And then after assistant principal, I became the principal. And I ran a program called Strive, which is something like I'm doing now. It was an alternative school, but it was an alternative school for 8 different schools. Forest City, Helena, Barton, you name it, 8 different schools around here. I got kids from there who they couldn't handle, and they would send them to me. And we would get an understanding, and they went back home, different children, successful. From that program, from that ALE program, it's called Strive, we graduated 23 students who would not have graduated if they had stayed. They would, and I hate to say it too bad, they were not disciplined enough. Their behavior, they weren't bad kids, their behavior was bad. But they graduated, 23 of them. And some of them are doing real good now.
What do you think of today's young people?
You all are different. You are different. You are smarter. I don't think you know it, but you all are a whole lot smarter. Then, if you look at the little babies now, even the little babies, they learn so fast. They learn how to walk faster. They learn how to talk faster. You all are about 10 times smarter than when we were. 10 times smarter at the same age. You all are computer geniuses. You don't know it. But you all could make your own computer if you want. That's how smart you are. Now, you all don't use it wisely. You all do not use your smartness wisely. You don't use it to help you get farther and learn more. That's the part that I hate. And I don't think you all can see it here. Because you can't see right now that you're not going to always be whatever grade you are now. You're going to be something else. You're going to be somebody else. You're going to do something for a living one day. And if you all knew how smart you are right now, you'd be working hard to get there. Now, when I say you all, I don't mean everybody, okay? That's not everybody. A lot of you all are working hard to get to that next level. College. Now, everybody's not going to college now. Some of you all sitting right here, you're not going to college. There are people, some of my students make more money and they never spent a day in college. They make more money now than I made when I was principal. I had one student who came when I was at Strive, our bathroom broke down. He came to fix it. He was one of my students now. He came, but he went to trade school. He came to fix my bathroom. And he stayed 35, maybe 40 minutes. He said, okay, Coach, your bathroom is fixed. I said, okay, what I owe you? He said, Coach, you don't owe me but $2,000. 45 That's all these things. A lot of times, it's not how much you can do, it's what you know. He knew his job as a plumber, and he was skilled at his job. He learned it so well. Now, I don't care who you are, one thing you're going to do, you're going to want to drink water. That's a plumber. You're going to want something. You're in the summertime, I don't care if it costs $10,000. You're going to get you some air if you can afford it. So I say to you all that if you know you're not going to go to college, learn a skill. Computer is a skill. Y'all can make all kinds of money with those computers. I mean big time money. Next question.
Okay, thank you, Coach, for sharing your story with us.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All righty.
Good afternoon. This is Clifton Collier. I am the teacher of the Community Service Learning class here in Marion, Arkansas at Lee High School. Anastasia and Harmony, two of our students. So we have about a class of about 16 to 18 students. So all the class took part in preparing this interview. Coach Iris Williams was kind enough to be interviewed and share his story. And I know his story is very interesting. And I'm sure that the viewers will be glad to hear this. Thank you.